comment of the night already. He said, Jordan, I like the new look inside. All right. Well, here we go, guys. We're back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Welcome to Lock, Load, and Go. I'm your host, Brandon Andrews. And with me, always, we got Jeff Riddle Jr., TP, Jordan, and here we go. Riddle, give me your Athens spiel again for what we learned.
Okay. What I learned was that the SEC still runs through Athens, that Jacob Rodriguez not being in New York is an absolute travesty, and Ohio State hasn't won the Big Ten since 2020. They are on a 5-year streak of not winning.
Thank you for following, Jared. Hey, I tell you what, the Rodriguez thing that holds weight, and we are going to talk about the Heisman Trophy tonight. Jordan, what did you learn?
I learned that the Notre Dame athletic director might be the softest motherfucker in college football. I have not seen bitching like that probably since the 80s. Marcus Freeman is the king of not having that dog in him. The whole team just flat out quit. And then you want to nominate this guy for Coach of the Year? Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know what transpired in that. I don't know, since the playoff era has been established, anyone ever been Coach of the Year that hasn't made the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think
so. I felt like, and I said this about Jeremiah being at the Heisman finalist ceremony, that was a sorry we didn't put you in, but here's you some awards.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing with Pavia, as I hear.
Thank you for following.
Yep.
Quit asking for a 15th game. And
yeah.
Trying to get another year eligibility, all that good stuff.
What did you learn last week?
So touching on that, well, this is somewhat Pavia-ish because there's been way too much love going around for Vandy, like way too much. People need to calm down, just, get a grip. It's Vanderbilt. So this is a team up north who you could kind of say was the Vandy North, and this is probably the team where you have Kurt Cignetti, who should be the Coach of the Year. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care what other coach there is. He took a 2-10 program, literally just like, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Made them relevant last year, literally, and then already Big Ten champs. That's saying something. 13-0 record. That's a bigger turnaround than anything Vandy has ever done. Vandy has done nothing. Nothing. They have done nothing. Pavia has done nothing. What Cignetti and the Hoosiers have done, though, that's something. And if I was going to give a Heisman, it'd be, he's not Hispanic. He's Cuban. Mendoza. Mendoza's the guy, not Pavia. He took down the big bad wolf in Ohio State. I don't want to hear anything else.
We don't need Pardo's pool right now.
Did he take him down, or did that defense take him down?
Doesn't matter. Did he screw up a lot?
We don't need his hot take yet.
I see. No, I don't know if I'm really have hot take because I'm just talking right now. So,
look here, fun fact. Tony today goes, I'm not even really mad about anything. I'm not sure what I'm going to rant about tonight. And hell, we don't even get past the opening segment.
But anyways, I just want to give some love to Indiana because there's way too much love going around for Vandy, a team who hasn't done jack shit. So let's applaud those Hoosiers up there. A real team.
Josh said basic fade routes aren't Heisman material performance.
Basic fade routes.
See here, C. Jones, the 16 conference championships, only one team that lost and dropped to Alabama. And when you get on our level and you have a fucking tradition in history, you can do that shit.
Oh, God.
It's all about the brand,
Last week, the sky was falling and we didn't deserve a spot. Now
we don't deserve a spot. We do not deserve a spot. We did not deserve a spot in the playoffs. I cannot help that they put us in. I'm not on the committee. But there's a reason why they put us in.
Yeah. Thriller. That was an early. Thriller. That's early.
And he was spell tied.
Thriller. That's an early present to me. I've been beating the desk for about 4 years now, fire Tim Banks. So thank you. That's the only thing I'm going to thank Pavia for is finally open up Heupel's eyes to realize, hey, this guy's calling defense plays is not the guy.
Yeah. I mean,
oh God, not again, Josh.
So I'll start the show like we always do. We're going to start out with Riddle, and I think he's got some doozies tonight. So we're going to see what he's got.
Yeah. So obviously this week is special because it's the Army-Navy game. It is a game that I look forward to every year. Uh, opportunity for double points or more points than normal. There are 2 trivia questions. If you are the first to answer both of them, you'll get 6 points. It'll be the same point system. You just got double the points. You got double the opportunity tonight. So here's the question. The Army-Navy game is one of the most prestigious rivalry games in sports, with countless time-honored traditions that happen in this game. What tradition involves players from the winning team being allowed to go to the losing side of the stadium for a post-game celebration? And then the second question is, what is the tradition before the game where cadets and midshipmen who spent a semester at the rival academy are returned to their home teams at midfield, allowing them to cheer from their own student section, a symbolic end to their enemy territory stay and a highlight of sportsmanship amid intense rivalry?
All right, so we're going to ask you to repeat the first question.
Okay. The
'Cause that was
first
a
one
lot.
is, yeah, it is a lot. I don't want them Google fingers going quick tonight. So, what tradition involves players from the winning team being allowed to go to the losing side of the stadium for a post-game celebration? And then the second one is, what tradition before the game where cadets and midshipmen who spent a semester at the rival academy are returned to their home teams at midfield?
Okay. So there you go, guys. First question number 1. So question 2, Riddle.
Oh, I just
That
did
was
it.
both
I
of
did them
them.
back to
Oh,
back.
did both?
Yeah, I did
Oh,
them back
yeah.
to back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was reading.
So the first one is the
Yeah.
tradition after the game, where the winning team gets to go to the losing side. The second question is the returning before the game, the returning of cadets and midshipmen at midfield.
Okay. So here's the deal. So we were gonna go. We have an itinerary, kind of a little glossary here for us to go by. We're not gonna do that because we have breaking news. Breaking news. Sharon Moore at Michigan has been fired. Sharon Moore at Michigan has been fired, and not only fired, he has been arrested. So apparently he has went off the deep end. Michigan is without a coach, and before we jump into it, we brought this up on the pregame. Michigan job is the most prestigious job that's been available the last year, and it ain't close by any stretch of the imagination. So Michigan's going to be left out to dry. They're going to have to steal someone like Jordan alluded to. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to turn it over to Jordan. He's got the most facts right now. What's out there. Jordan, tell us what you know.
I'm not going to say they're facts, but from what I'm hearing, Sharon Moore, I guess, was caught having an affair with his senior staffer by his wife. The guy then threatened to off himself, drove to said senior staffer's house, and then conflicting reports either just showed up there or broke into said staffer's house. That's where he was arrested and then later turned over to a different, police department up there somewhere around. It's a really crazy situation. This kind of broke today around 2:00. It started. Of course, we were all texting like, "Wow, why would you wait and fire your coach at this point?" But I mean, there was no option. You had to fire the guy.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty crazy afternoon.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think anyone anticipated this. Portnoy had his tweet. He got in the shower, came out, and he didn't have a coach. I think this has kind of been a bang situation. I don't think this was planned by any stretch of the imagination, and I think they had to react quickly because at the timing of this, like Jordan alluded to, is absolutely poor. All the big coaches have been picked apart. They've been picked over. Now, like Jordan said, you have to hope to go steal someone from somewhere. Jordan, give us the top 5 candidates. Give us the top 5 candidates.
You have to try to hold your roster together because I mean you just went through early signing day,
and that's why it's got to be quick.
All those recruits are now free to enter the portal and go elsewhere. Yeah, I know Tennessee has interest. I don't know if they'll pursue him or not. But number 8 player in the country, Savion Hyder, the running back, chose Michigan over Tennessee. That might be, there's going to be some teams looking to poach. One of the running jokes was that Lane Kiffin has already left Bryce Underwood a voicemail. They're going to have some issues up there quickly if they don't get out in front of this.
Yeah. So C. Jones with the comment of the night. Now he's passed up cheating on the field and in the bedroom. That's Michigan for you. That's Michigan football. Okay, Jordan, give us the candidates, the top 5 candidates you had. I mean, this is ESPN's list, not Jordan's, but
this was just from ESPN. I saw earlier. Let me get it pulled back up.
I can go ahead and tell you the number one was Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, number one on the list was Kalen DeBoer. Obviously he was thought to be a potential candidate when Harbaugh left. Had Harbaugh left in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Also, his first head coaching job was right down the road at Eastern Michigan. So some loose ties to the area, nothing crazy. Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter. This could be an issue because he is still on a show cause over the whole Harbaugh deal, and he worked very closely with Connor Stallions, so that might shy them away from that whole deal altogether.
Yeah, I think they want to move past that.
Next up, this is out of what I'm seeing, the one that makes the most sense to me. Washington head coach Jed Fish. Fish served as a quarterbacks coach and wide receivers coach under Harbaugh in 2015 and 2016. The guy's 49 years old. He's been everywhere almost. This one makes zero sense to me. Duke coach Manny Diaz. I don't see Michigan that desperate. And this one's just downright comical. Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. Yeah. He's only 33. You know, you're taking a big gamble with a guy like Tommy Rees.
Yeah. Now I tell you what, Josh had a really good one. He said, "What about Tim Banks?" And I said, "Knowing Tony's luck, Tim Banks will go up there and have them in the national championship."
No, he's not. He's a Butch Jones disciple. He is a Butch Jones disciple. No, he will not.
Did we not just talk about Mike Vrabel?
If Butch Jones hires you, no, you're not going to be successful.
Tim Banks has ties to that area, though.
Yes, he does.
He is a Michigan kid. So
that's cool. You know who I was thinking of though.
Jeff Brom is a great one, John. Brom is a great
I thought about, which I don't know if they would touch it. That would be Brian Kelly, since he's fucking out there. Why not?
Brian Kelly. Hey, do you remember Brian Kelly was linked to the Michigan job before Harbaugh? He was linked to the Michigan job before Harbaugh. He was linked. He was also linked when Sharon Moore. They were like, but he was like, "I'm not leaving LSU." But I'm Joe Brady would be a good hire. That's great. Yeah, if you're gonna hire a coordinator.
To me, with the money that Michigan has, I don't know that anybody necessarily is off the table. I mean, obviously there's some things that don't fit, and they're not going to go after certain guys. But I mean, realistically, you could make a laundry list of quality guys that'll probably be on their list.
God bless it. I will say, like, if you had someone said Connor Stallions, if they hunted, that would be the biggest balls in the history of.
That would be a better troll job than James Franklin hiring Brent Pry right back to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. So, all right, we're going to move on from that. Georgia canceled a series today with Louisville ahead of SEC schedule. Riddle was well aware of this, but we think this is going to be the trend moving forward with the 9-game conference game schedule now. Riddle, any surprise here?
No, and I think this is going to be for the SEC as a whole because everybody knows schedules are made years in advance. And most of the non-conference games, hell, there's some of them that are 10 years in advance. But now that we're adding a 9th conference game, one of those non-conference games have to be canceled. And if you're any team in the SEC and not just Georgia, why not get rid of, the one that makes the least sense for you? Like Georgia is going to play Georgia Tech every year. They're going to be there. That's going to be one of their non-conference games. And we were talking in the pre-show, I think it's in 2030, Georgia plays Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia Tech, and then some, cupcake. But, which one of those do you want to cancel? I would probably say the Ohio State game because there's a history with Clemson. That's a rivalry game from back in the day. Can't get rid of Georgia Tech. So people will use this as a cop-out that they're looking for easier paths and everything, but we still have to play 9-conference game. And if you've listened to Kirby Smart here recently, he talks about the SEC championship was the 9th SEC game for both of those teams. They were extremely beat up. They were extremely banged up. And it's going to be a war of attrition and staying healthy moving forward.
So Georgia's non-conference next year is Tennessee State, Western Kentucky, and then obviously Georgia Tech. So the Georgia Tech makes it serviceable. And at the end of the day, I mean, their schedule's hard enough. They play at Alabama,
Only know Sun Belt names.
yeah, Florida, and all that. So they play plenty. But God knows. Anyway,
but Florida's going to keep Florida State.
Yeah, you
South
have
Carolina's going to keep Clemson.
Yeah.
Like those out of conference tie-ins, they're going to stay. But it's the ones where, and honestly, the things that have happened this year, and especially Texas coming out and saying they were penalized for losing to Ohio State, which we've talked repeatedly on this show about how that's not the case. A lot of these teams are going to do this. What does it benefit you going out and playing these huge marquee games? And it's bad for the sport, and it's sad for the sport. But I mean, that's the direction this is headed.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so just moving on. That keynote there, but then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the show. And what we're going to do is go over the playoff rankings, the final playoff rankings. The playoff is set. We are not going to make our picks tonight. Our picks will be made next week. We've got to have content for the show next week. But we are going to talk about the matchup, basically who got in. Do we like the order? And we're going to talk about, obviously, who got snubbed the worst. So we'll start with the number one team. There's no disagreement, right? I think we're all safe. Indiana's number one.
They took care of that on the field.
Okay. The number two team is Ohio State.
Back to that big hunt.
Yeah. Hold on. What did he say? Okay. Yeah. We'll get back to that. I apologize.
We'll circle back around to that.
But Ohio State is number two. I'm going to go ahead and hit the buzzer because I said this on Saturday night. Ohio State does not deserve to be number two. Georgia deserves to be number two. The SEC, winning the SEC still should mean something. I'm giving Georgia a lot of credit. They won in dominant fashion. And at the end of the day, it's still one of the most premier conferences. And Ohio State looked like absolute asshole. They look like absolute asshole out there. Now I know they played a good team in Indiana. I'm not debating that. I am simply stating that they shouldn't be the number two seed. Georgia should have got the benefit of the doubt there. That's my only opinion. So y'all have at it. Do you agree? Disagree?
I told Jeff, we were at work, and I told Jeff before my top four before it was announced was Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, and Ohio State. The three champions, and then Ohio State staying on that byline. I can see why they didn't do that because that sets up Ohio State, Indiana semifinal, provided both teams handle business. Indiana's already going to be down a defensive end because he got hurt in the post-game celebration, like a season-ending significant injury. Who the fuck does that? I mean, athletes do it, but I mean, I get it. You're excited, but damn, how you going to jeopardize the rest of your season acting a fool?
Big Hunt with a great comment. It would have been nice to have UGA at number two to make a possible Carson Beck versus UGA matchup. That would have been must-see TV.
I will tell you what, there's a lot of people that have that being the semifinal in the Fiesta Bowl on that side of the bracket is Miami and Georgia, surprisingly. Yeah. But I'm actually fine with it. I mean, even if you flip-flop those two, they're still going to they're going to be on the same side of the bracket. So I'm not too mad. I mean, you're either going to play potentially if it goes scratch, you're still going to play an SEC opponent no matter which one of those two you're in.
And it'd be fair with you looking at it, Georgia probably made out better.
All right. And I mean, so we'll see how it plays out, but I'm fine with Ohio State being 2 and Georgia being 3. There's not much difference there. So they're still on a collision course if they win.
Yeah. And the way that I'm looking at it from when I say that is you're either going to play Tulane or Ole Miss. Both have new coaches. And Georgia's already beat Ole Miss. So this is like pretty easy road to at least get to the semifinals. So for Georgia right now, I mean, Georgia should be. I agree, it should be. I'm not going to say it is. Obviously, anything can happen.
Apparently, Ole Miss's AD has backtracked and has allowed the entire offensive staff that left to come back to coach this game except for Lane Kiffin. So they will have everybody but Lane Kiffin coaching in this game. That was their all year.
So we got Texas Tech, Okay, Thriller, we're going to get on your comment now because we have to. Georgia beat a lackluster Bama who hasn't looked good for a month, basically a one-dimensional team. That is true. They did beat them, but they beat them emphatically with defense that we all were anticipating. If you go back and you look over the course of the all the games that have happened probably the last month, Georgia's defense against Bama was absolutely way more dominant than Indiana or Ohio State.
And you can go back over the last 18 years on that if you want to, and there has been plenty of times where Georgia was favored in that game and lost it anyway. So
yeah, and you can't just look at the score. You got to look at what happened in the game, the hits,
absolutely,
the pressure, everything about those
games. Belt to ass.
Yeah, I mean Georgia put it on us. Thoughts on making the top 25 to 24 and making that the playoff bracket? I mean, if they want to do that, we said before the show, make it whatever the hell you want. Just put the teams in and let's go. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, let it be a circus. It's already a circus anyway.
It's a circus.
So we're just missing the clowns. And
do we all agree with Texas Tech?
Make it a 64-team bracket and let Florida play.
Yeah.
If you look at the top 3 defenses nationally, overall, it's Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, and
Oklahoma's not in there.
Not in the top 3.
They're the number 1 in the SEC.
Yeah, but they ain't in the top 3.
I know.
I'm not picking
they're only
I'm not picking them to beat Ohio State, Indiana, or even Tech. No, because
I meant
teams right
defense.
There. Their defense is not even close to those 3 that just mentioned. Not even close.
Big Hunt, I am a strong advocate for that. I actually have that in my notes. They need to take the human element out of it because when you have the human element, you will always have biased opinions, and they will always go one way or the other. You got to take the human element back out of it. Let the computers decide what the best 12 teams are. That way they're all being judged and based off the same criteria, and the computers figure it out.
Now, I will give you guys the computers had Alabama in.
Oh, I agree with that.
But
I did too.
But they also had
a better resume than Notre Dame, but
they did. That's the only thing. The only thing that let us get in there is Notre Dame's resume was piss poor. That's the only reason we got in.
There was no comparing those 2 resumes.
It's the only reason we got in.
And the comparison is what we've been complaining about for the last 3 or 4 weeks is that Miami and Notre Dame's resumes are damn near identical, and they played on the field, and one team won and one team lost.
All right, so let's move on. Oregon and James Madison. That is the first game that that's not the first game we're going to get to watch. Bama, Oklahoma is, but that is the 12 seed versus 5 seed. Oregon opens up as a 21.5-point favorite. Do not comment on who you're picking, but is anyone excited? I'm excited about the social media that came out. The post you guys sent.
Pumped. I mean,
James Madison is very pumped, and rightfully so.
Thinks Oregon might hang with them till halftime.
Yeah.
Yep, I sent that to the group today. I'm excited for this game. I want to see what James Madison does with their big moment because this team has been good since they've made the jump.
Yeah,
we all know who their coach used to be. The one that came in, he took it over, and they've not missed a beat. Mm-hmm. They're still competitive. They still play good football. They've got some playmakers. Can they hang with a team like Oregon? I don't know. But huge for them as a school, huge for them as a program. Happy to see them there. They've been in my rankings for over a month now. So
I'll say this. They have a chance to make an impact. They don't have to even win the game. If it is competitive, they have a chance to be this generation's Boise State. Remember the Boise State, Oklahoma, the Fiesta Bowl when we did the old what did the Statue of Liberty play?
Billy at the helm.
Yeah. Bottom line is
that could be true, Big Hunt.
Bottom line is if they absolutely can't make this game close against Oregon, it's going to really make you rethink the group of 5 conference champions. Because right now we all think they're dog water and we wipe our ass with them because they're toilet paper.
Well, it's just like the year Cincinnati went and Alabama handled them, yes, but
beat the crap out of them.
It wasn't like but it wasn't like 50-0.
No, they couldn't do anything though. They couldn't do anything against your defense. It was 24-7.
Right, and y'all didn't blow them completely out of the water. Y'all dominated and controlled the game the whole way, like you're supposed to. but it
But-
wasn't like a 63-14 game. You know what I mean?
My point is it was the equivalent of Georgia beating Alabama this weekend. That's what it was. It was an absolute. They had nothing to do. They could
So
do
that's
nothing.
a huge compliment to Cincinnati then.
Yeah, I mean, they made it to the playoffs, but they absolutely were way outclassed. I mean, in that game, way
I agree,
outclassed.
C. Jones. Outside of the Indiana game,
They haven't been tested much, and it's been such a long time since the Indiana game. Have they gotten better? Have they improved? You know, what's going to happen, you know, if they play Indiana again? I mean, you know, all these things are big questions. That game, if Oregon wins, we're going to say if Oregon wins, that game against Texas Tech is going to be fucking phenomenal. I want everyone, that's going to be a phenomenal playoff. That's the kind of playoff game that excites me because it's not your normal teams. I know Oregon, but Oregon ain't one shit. Like Tony always says, Oregon ain't one shit. And Texas Tech ain't one shit. So, I mean, it's just really exciting to have two teams in there that, you know, really haven't been kind of there ever.
But hey, put Tech up right now against Oregon. Guess who's going to fucking win? Because the other team has a physical defense, and Oregon can't. Oregon's a finesse team, like they always have been. They can't handle that shit. I mean, that's just the facts.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into picking it though. But next game,
I'm just saying though.
The first game that we're gonna get to watch is on Friday night next weekend, and it's Alabama at Oklahoma. Alabama is a favorite. Take it for what it's a toss up for the most part. But what do you guys think about the matchup? I actually like the matchup. Like,
we've seen it.
Yeah, for a Bama fan, I like it because if I'm gonna get a win, I'd rather have revenge. If I get a loss, I get a loss.
We've seen it, and we saw it in Tuscaloosa, and this time it's in Norman. The key to that game is whether or not Alabama's going to get healthy or not. That has everything to do with the outcome of that game because guess what? Oklahoma didn't have to play this past week. Oklahoma's been resting up. They're going to be well rested for this game. They don't have the injuries that Alabama has.
Yeah.
Whether or not Alabama can get healthy is going to be the difference in this game.
Yeah. The good news is I did hear Ty is probably coming back. He is probably coming back. And everyone says he's hurt. So. Everyone says he's hurt, but no one will tell me what's wrong with him. Like it's one of those things where they're saying he's hurt, but it's not like he's injured or he can't play. But everybody
has that
is.
Effect on young quarterbacks.
Everybody is.
I mean, look at Arch Manning the last 2 years when he went in. He looked like a deer in headlights.
Well, they were saying he was hurt. I don't know when. They're acting like he's been hurt, but I've not heard that from anybody at the university, so I don't believe it. But I'm like, dude, you can't just all of a sudden be hurt because you lose a game. I mean, you can't.
Right.
I mean, hurt
pride, hurt feelings. That's what it is.
The outcome is they can run the ball. The outcome is can they run the? You ain't got to run the ball against Oklahoma. You just don't have to do that. Oklahoma's offense is atrocious. Yeah, but that's the key to Daniel, that's the key. Not doing turnovers. But anyway, moving on. Tulane, Ole Miss, another game that we've seen, and this game, when we saw it, was an ass beating, an absolute ass beating.
5 scores.
And this game, this is 100% Riddle. This is the game we're talking about where it's complete domination. One way when it played earlier this season, it was completely.
It was an ass whooping in September. It's going to be an ass whooping in December.
And there's people that think that Tulane's going to keep this one close because of all the stuff going on. I just don't see that happening at all.
Now, I want to ask you this, though. This is the question I'll ask on this game. If Tulane somehow does come out and keeps it close, that should tell you the effect Lane Kiffin had on that team.
No, absolutely. And the winner gets Georgia. So,
yeah, I'm just going to tell you,
Georgia,
that AD needs his balls kicked. I don't know what why would you not have a guy who's going to fight for you? Because Lane is about Lane. Lane is going to go try to win that fucking title just so he can have it next to his fucking resume with his name beside
incentives.
it. Yeah.
Hell, he's got a free roll on this Ole Miss team now. LSU agreed to pay for his incentives that he would have got at Ole Miss.
I mean, but I don't even understand why you wouldn't Ole Miss put yourself in the best situation.
Right. And I agree with that. But playing devil's advocate here, that AD knew that Lane Kiffin had ulterior motives with staying. He was going to try to get as much of his staff to go as he could. He even said that when they were talking. He's like, I'm going to take everybody with me. Like he was making threats and everything else. And as an AD, you have to stand your ground at some point. There is a line. There's a lot of stuff that we'll never know exactly what was said or how it went. I see both sides of it. I said last week there's blame on both sides there. But I understand why the AD did what he did. Is it the right move? Probably not. I understand why Lane did what he did. Was it the right move? Absolutely not. So there's fault on both sides.
And the only thing I'm gonna say, Riddle, is if Kirby Smart for some reason tomorrow decided he was going to coach the Titans, would we not all expect him to take his staff with him? I mean, right. I would.
At the end of the year.
Yeah, I would. I mean, at the end of the year, 100%.
It's just like the year Dan Lanning went to take the head coaching job at Oregon. He still coached through the national championship game, and then he went
because Georgia let him do that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I think we all agree it's going to be an ass whooping. It doesn't matter. So the next game that we're going to talk about, this one's intriguing. It's Miami.
It is
at Texas A&M. At Texas A&M. Jordan, what do you think about this game?
Depends on which Carson Beck shows up. This game could be really good. This game could be an absolute blowout. Honestly, it could be a blowout either way, depending on which Marcel Reed shows up. Quarterback play is going to dictate that matchup. I mean, I know it's a really simple explanation, but it's never been truer between those two teams.
Tony, who you taking? I mean, don't tell me who you're taking, but what do you think about the matchup?
Matchup wise, it's like Jordan says, Jekyll and Hyde type teams, especially quarterback play, like Jordan mentioned. Carson Beck, we know what he can do, and we also what he can do negatively to impact a game. I've seen it many times. And Marcel Reed, sometimes he just, I don't know. Marcel Reed, he has ability. Obviously, he's mobile. He has ability to make some pretty pro-typical type throws, but a lot of times he struggles sometimes with accuracy. I think that's why sometimes he does try to rely too much with his legs. So yeah, point blank, one of these quarterbacks going to make throws. I don't think Carson Beck's really that type of guy though. It's going to come down to Beck on the Miami side. He just doesn't need to fuck up.
Yeah.
Because they're not really going to rely on him like say A&M is going to rely on Marcel Reed. So if this is the case, I think Marcel Reed pretty much runs that offense. Beck doesn't run the Miami offense. So you would think Cristobal maybe has some type of plan in place to where, hell, they're going to try to run the ball. I mean, Cristobal, he's an O-lineman back in his day. You think they're probably going to try to come out, be physical, and keep this game close, going into the late stages of the game, because you don't want Beck out there throwing 30-plus times, because if that happens, guess what's probably going to happen? Yeah. He's probably going to have a few mistakes, and then next thing you know, game's getting out of hand. That's just my take on this thing. But yeah, it could go either way. Jordan said it. It could be blowout one way or the other from either side. It's really going to come down to, is Beck going to fuck up? Are they going to allow him to fuck up? Are they going to allow being a more physical team? Or,
Tony,
is Marcel Reed going to get hot? What?
Daniel wants to know who you're taking, so he can go ahead and fade you.
You'll get our picks next week.
Next week, yeah. He wants to go ahead and get on that. I'm going to say this. This is Carson Beck's last chance, but this is last chance to make a statement to say, I am good enough to be in the NFL. And he's either going to answer the call or he's going to show up and just fall flat on his face like he has previously. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
If he has to throw, if he has to throw 30-plus times, they're losing. Miami is losing.
Yeah.
If he has to throw that many times, they're losing fucking game.
It's interesting because this is Carson Beck's first playoff appearance as a starter. Is he going to be able to step up to the biggest game he's played in his college career? And then also they got some young receivers. Are they going to be able to step up when the lights are the brightest? So it's a very intriguing matchup. Might be the best round one matchup outside of Norman, Oklahoma, obviously. But I still think this one might be a better game than that one ends up being.
I mean, it could be. Our game's probably going to be ugly. It's going to be a bunch of damn fucking blind and deaf Helen Kellers running around. I mean, yeah, the playoffs, like it, who got snubbed, guys? Who out of everyone there, who got snubbed the biggest? BYU.
My opinion, it's BYU. There's not another team. In my opinion,
That ain't
that's
snubbed. BYU had 2 chances to prove they belong. They got their ass beat twice.
Well, they did. They
didn't
got
just
handed to
lose,
them on
they
a
got
platter.
their ass beat.
Oh, I know. Well, yeah, they did. By Texas Tech defense, that's pretty insane, though, too. So, I mean, I think
Not
Tech's
Vandy,
going to do
Big
that.
Hunt. They had 2 chances.
No,
Texas
yeah,
and
stop the
Alabama.
Vandy talk.
Texas on a down year, they couldn't beat them.
Yeah.
Yep. Stop
Yeah,
it.
I
All
don't.
right.
Do I think this is the 12 best teams in the nation? No. Do I think this system is perfect? No. Do I think that any team that got left out could win the national championship? No. Honestly, I don't. I think the teams that are in deserve to be in. I think that outside of the 2 group of 5 teams, every team that's in this playoff has a legitimate shot if things go their way and they play their best football. But I have no pity for Notre Dame. The deck is stacked in their favor year in and year out.
Every
and
year.
when you played 2 playoff teams and you lost both games, you don't deserve to be in. You win one of those 2 games and you get in, and there's no question, there's no argument. But when you play those 2 playoff teams, which when A&M was scheduled, A&M was still a shit show post Jimbo Fisher, and then they played Arkansas, who didn't win an SEC game. They want to talk about their Power 4 wins. Well, it's against the bottom of conferences. That's who they schedule. Now, I know these are scheduled in advance, but they try to set it up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no pity for them. They can be mad all they want, but it's falling on deaf ears here.
No, they can't be mad. They get over that bullshit.
That AD is a puss.
Be mad. You had a chance. You had 2 games to win. You lost both of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suck it up,
and
man.
So that's the thing. The 2 games that was, meaningful against pretty good teams, they lost. And Big Hunt mentioned if Notre Dame did join the conference, they wouldn't be in the situation. You're right, because they probably about 4 losses on their resume.
They're in the ACC in every other sport except for football.
But I will say this: if they were in a conference and they finished 10-2, let's say they were in the Big Ten and they finished 10-2, I think they'd be in. On name alone and the fact that they were in a conference, I think they'd be in. I think the fact that they have an independent schedule that is a joke. It's a joke. I mean, if they were in the Big Ten.
Right. Let's not talk about the language that we all found out about this past week.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
About the ACC
moving forward.
Have hockey, I'm fairly certain.
But no, about if they finish, so like if the standings were the exact same way next year, Miami would be bumped. The head-to-head would not matter because it is in the language that if Notre Dame is in the top 11 or 12, they are guaranteed a spot in no matter what.
And I think that's
100%
bullshit.
Absolute dog water.
So they have no reason to gripe, complain, or whine. They had an opportunity to prove it on the field. They didn't.
Have you seen their schedule?
The deck gets even more favorable for them moving forward.
Their schedule next year is terrible.
Right, but they got rid of historical rivalry games.
Yeah, they did.
Michigan State, guys like that, to make room for, the bottom of the ACC when they made this semi-move to the ACC.
So,
and I think they've played Clemson once since they made that move.
If y'all want,
when they make this move, they agreed. They had a set agreement that they could use the ACC bowl tie-ins for anything under the playoffs, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it's played out. If you'll remember back to 2020, the ACC saved Notre Dame that year. Notre Dame was not going to have a football schedule to play that season. The ACC took them in, let them play in their conference. They got to the championship game. They got donkey slapped by Clemson.
Yep. So here we go.
It's not like the ACC hasn't been accommodating to them.
Yeah. 2026
was the
Notre
first
Dame
good run Notre Dame's had.
Yeah. 2026 Notre Dame football schedule. Bottom line is, you go ahead and mark them down if you want easy money, even easier than Tony fading him. Bottom line, take Notre Dame making the playoffs because here's their schedule. Wisconsin Badgers, the Rice Owls, Michigan State Spartans, Purdue Boilermakers.
Hey, they put Michigan State back.
Yep. North Carolina Tar Heels, Navy Midshipmen, Miami, hey, there's one. Hey, there's a good game. Boston College, Boston College, SMU,
Who they struggled with this year.
Syracuse, Stanford, and last game they have is USC. Out of everything
sounds like
there,
almost an identical schedule except for A&M and Arkansas, aren't there?
Potentially 2 ranked games the whole season, potentially, and Miami's losing a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's absolutely atrocious. They're going to be in the playoffs, especially with the guarantees they got.
My biggest fear with the way this committee did, and they screwed some things up. Miami should have never been behind Notre Dame, and then the fact that they waited until the last week to do that, it's a bad look. The fact that it took moving BYU down after a conference loss to make that head-to-head matter, but yet Alabama was the first team to lose a conference championship game since in the last 3 years that didn't move. I understand why they did all those things, but it looks bad. It really does look bad. But the NCAA is on the cusp of losing control completely of everything. You got the NIL that's getting out of control, the transfer portals getting out of control. Now you've got this committee screwing things up, and every team, it seems like you turn around and another one's opting out of bowl games. Bowl games aren't mattering anymore. Conference championships are losing their value. Like, this governing body is slowly watching it unravel at the seams, and they've got like one chance to turn this around, and they need to fix it.
They have no balls.
I don't feel bad for them. They ran this shit into the ground, and those seeds are they're reaping what they sowed.
Bottom line is, we talked about this at work. College football is an absolute fucking shell of what it used to be. There's no passion. There's no commitment. There's no pride. There's no anything. And bottom line is no one has ties to anybody. It is.
It's still the greatest sport.
It is. But we witnessed the golden age of football, and we witnessed it something when it meant something to have pride in your team. And when you went to Georgia, you were a Georgia Bulldog for life. When you went to Alabama, you had the fucking tattoos. You do, Riddle, but you got a lot less of them.
Well, I agree.
Because but I mean, so-and-so doesn't start, he's going to leave if he thinks Kirby does a good job, so I'm not knocking y'all's program. I'm just saying there's no loyalty.
Notre Dame, USC, that's a big rivalry game. The Jewel Shillelagh, that one's going to stay. That's kind of like the SEC and their out-of-conference rivals. Those games are going to stay.
Hey, Daniel, I've said that before.
It's the Rice Owls and the service academies that those games that they have no business playing for no other reason than just it's an easy win.
So
now,
C. Jones,
they can cite history and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
but honestly, today's landscape in college football, I saw it best described the other day when they were talking about Tim Banks being fired, and they were like, "Well, he was 1 year off of this," and somebody said, "Well, in year 5, there is no year 5 anymore with the portal, with NIL. Every year is a 1 year run. It's a 1 year off." Guys are leaving. Troy Aikman come out today and said he would never contribute NIL to UCLA again. Said he wrote a check to a kid. The kid stayed 1 year left. Didn't even give him
who was that kid?
So much as thank you. He would not say.
It was who was that kid?
Dante Moore.
He would not say.
It was Dante Moore because that guy went to Oregon.
He said, I didn't even get a fucking thank you note for this. Like, didn't have to cut you a check. Cut you a check. You felt so fucking entitled. You cashed it, and then you left.
C. Jones, I've been saying that for the last couple of years.
We all wish they would do that.
You get graduate transfers fine because you've got your degree. You can choose to go play elsewhere. You get one transfer, and then if you do more than that, you have to sit out a year, just like it used to be. You need to be penalized for leaving. And now it's just a revolving door. Hell, there's some quarterbacks that they're like 6th school in their 6th year. It's crazy.
Or to make it even easier for everybody and just make it so simple that even a fucking plumber could do it. And it would be just make them sign contracts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to offer Jordan a 1 year contract. And if Jordan decides to leave after 1 year, that's on me for only offering him a 1 year contract. If I offer him a 4 year contract, he has to stay the 4 years or he's going to pay me back the difference.
Or what if he gets drafted, though?
Right now,
well, okay, a draft, there's going to be exclusions. Obviously, draft clauses will be put in place, things like that. But I'm saying, like, there should be contracts. It should be that simple. this guy, I'm going to sign a kicker, for instance. Well, kicker, you're only going to take on 1 year anyway, because bottom line is you don't know if this guy's going to be good or not. He comes in and he sucks. You're going to be like, all right, go on your merry way. But you get somebody like, I don't know, Bryce Underwood, who might be in the portal tomorrow. Bottom line is, if he would have signed a 4-year contract with Michigan, well, he couldn't go anywhere. He is bound to that school.
Him
for
and
X number of dollars.
Offense could be scary.
Oh, he would be scary. He would be scary.
Josh said, "Sorry, boys, phone died after all the Googling."
No, it's all right. So, C. Jones, they can't cap the NIL, and the reason they can't cap the NIL is because you are not allowed to limit what a player can make on his own name, image, and likeness. That is exactly what
that's what they would have to do, is what
the legislation said. Yeah. What'd you say? Make them employees. Yeah, if they make them employees, then it's CBA. It's a CBA all the way. NIL should be contract based. If it's broken, a player should have scholarship pool. NIL should be contract based. We agree. And bottom line is, if you don't live up to that standard, they're supposed to be doing this with some sort of research committee. I don't know how honest that is. I mean, bottom line is there's loopholes.
I think this Georgia case is going to play big into this moving forward. I mean, the kid went to Missouri. They paid him $30,000. Now they're suing him for $390,000 for the balance of that NIL deal they had tied with him. So depending on how that plays out in the legal system, could really change the landscape in the future.
Yeah, but is the NCAA or anybody going to back Georgia in that, or are they going to protect the kids?
Well, it's not. I mean, it won't be the NCAA. That'll be. I mean, that'll be in a court case. That won't be. It's not like an arbitrage.
Right.
And Riddle, like the NCAA, we talked about, they have no balls, but at the end of the day, all they have to do is say, you know what, if you're going to sign an NIL deal, it has to be contractual and it has to be guaranteed. Bottom line is, and we say, if you want to have a loophole in it, you better have it in there. It better be signed and in writing. If you're going to be able to get out of this contract, it better be if I decide, like if you sign with Jacksonville State and you say, hey, I'm going to commit to play for 4 years, but if I get a D1 offer, I should be allowed to leave. Put that in there. You're allowed to do that. You write the contract yourself.
Oh my God.
You just saw what I saw, George.
Oh
what happened?
My God.
What happened?
Troy sent a message to our group. If you want to peep that.
There was a tweet from Jerome Moore back in June 3rd of 2012. And I quote, bet there are some sore ladies out there right now. And this guy said, ain't no way they found this tweet. That was 2 hours ago they found it.
God dang.
And then the caption says, damn, this some Vol Twitter shit.
It is.
Way back.
All right, we're going to move on to the next topic, guys. So we're going to start with Tony Pavia. Tony Pavia, who's going to win the Heisman? Who is going to win the Heisman? Because right now, number 1 favorite is Mendoza, and number 2 clear-cut favorites Pavia.
Well, they already left the best player out that should have won, which is absolutely ridiculous. But if I'm going to do it, it's going to be the Cuban, not the Hispanic. It's going to be the Cuban. I give Mendoza. I don't care. I don't want to hear anything, about him looking mid against Ohio State, because there hasn't been really one quarterback that has looked good or even above good. Mendoza looked the best. He beat the team, that was supposed to run the table, but they're not. Now, they might now in the playoffs. Who knows? I'm taking Mendoza. I don't give a shit. Pavia, he had a good season. What was his best moment? Him just doing the stupid ass Heisman poses that he did after every celebration. That was it. Yeah,
it's on our thumbnail.
You seen what he did when he played against a decent defense? He folded like a fucking book. That's what he does. He played against some mediocre ass teams this year. He benefited from it. Tim Banks tried to gift wrap that Heisman up to him. It's probably still not going to help him out, but hey, at least it'll be the runner-up. He can tell his family that, at least, and his grandkids later in the future. Yeah. So I'm going to take Mendoza, though. I'm not giving it Pavia. No way. No way in hell.
Just so y'all can see, I got the thumbnail posted for you guys. You could see who Tony's clearly for. Don't let his words fool you. Your eyes are not deceiving you.
Chad, every quarterback looked good against Tennessee's defense except for Florida.
All right.
Except for fucking Florida.
All right. Riddle, who's winning the Heisman, buddy?
So I went through today and I wrote down, obviously, stats on all four of these guys that are going to be in New York. But let me start off by backing Tony and saying this. If I had a vote, it would still go to Jacob Rodriguez, even though he's not in New York.
Should be.
114 tackles, 60 solo, 1 sack, 4 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a fumble return touchdown. There's very few players in the history of the game that impact a game to where teams try to go the opposite direction.
Thank you, Josh.
They don't even want to go to that side of the field, and he's one of those guys. So I think he deserved to be there. He's not. As far as these three quarterbacks go, Diego Pavia has more yards than Mendoza. Their ratings are 2nd and 4th in the nation. Their completion percentage is 6th and 8th. They're very comparable across the board. The difference is that Diego Pavia had 826 yards rushing and 9 rushing touchdowns, which ranked 63rd and 55th in the nation. That means he had more rushing yards than some teams did, or some teams' top running backs did. Of all the finalists, there's nobody in the nation that impacts a game more than Diego Pavia. I know this isn't an MVP award, but if you take Pavia away from Vanderbilt, they're just Vanderbilt. And if you follow football, you know what that means. I think with all of it, 4,018 total yards, 36 touchdowns. He's in the top 15 in every passing category. The rushing yards, 10 and 2 for Vanderbilt, leading them to something they've never done before. Diego gets my vote.
But what was his Heisman moment, though? I thought we talked about this earlier. What are these Heisman moments? What is this Heisman moment?
Which one of these?
Kentucky?
Well, which one of these quarterbacks had a Heisman moment?
Hell, Mendoza's been part of two now.
Against Penn State?
No,
it doesn't have even been in that position.
It doesn't matter.
The Ohio State winning your conference and being undefeated at Indiana, to me is a Heisman moment.
I agree, but if you put any other quarterback on that team, they're the exact same. That defense is that good. Their receivers are good. Their running backs are good. It's not just him. Vanderbilt, it's just Diego Pavia.
So I'm going to say this.
They played a tougher schedule. They played tougher competition, and he did more against better all year long.
Will Greer is saying hello from Florida. He obviously had 3,800 yards, and he wasn't even considered to be even a good QB that year. So this is a down year for the Heisman. This is a down year for the Heisman.
I absolutely agree with that. I said if I was a voter and I got to cast a vote, I would vote for a guy that's not even there, first and foremost.
Yeah, I agree with that. Me too. Rodriguez would have got my vote.
That.
So this is what I want everyone to think about. Ashton Genty last year had 2,600 fucking yards rushing and didn't win the Heisman.
Because there was a clear-cut player in there that was clearly the best player in college football.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Genty, too. It was unfortunate for Genty because we hadn't seen a player. Yeah, he balled out in the season where Travis Hunter, who literally played both sides of the ball, made an impact literally both sides of the ball every fucking play.
The problem is if Genty's in this class right now, he's the only one getting invited to New York. There's nobody else even going to show up. It's going to be him. It's just sad.
This is honestly a down year for Heisman talk.
It is. It is. It really is.
Sad. It's bad. Okay. It's bad.
Jordan.
It's bad.
So Riddle's casted his vote. Who are you voting for? Who are you? If you got to pick.
Yeah, like I say, I saw something on Facebook talking about having 2 Hispanic players leading the charge.
Yeah.
And hell, the best Hispanic player didn't even get an invite. Let's just be honest. Like Jeff and Tony said, Jacob Rodriguez, best player in college football this year. It's not close, but didn't even get a fucking invite. This is a terrible, terrible Heisman class. Hell, this is going to be a terrible draft class to the NFL this year. I think we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, the Heisman is a damn popularity contest. That being said, it's been odd this year that ESPN hasn't really pushed anybody late. They made some pushes for guys early in the season. Those guys fell flat on their faces, and then they just got tight-lipped about it. if Pavia wins, it's not going to surprise me. In my opinion, I think Mendoza to me is a little more impressive, taking what is historically the worst Power 4 team in football and has them undefeated, sitting number 1 and a chance to win a national title, having already won a Big Ten title. I don't think Indiana's ever had an undefeated season.
No.
But I mean, you can go back to the days like when Paul Hornung won it at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame was 2-8 that year. Tell me that's not a popularity award. When Christian McCaffrey got snubbed, popularity award. My vote would go to Mendoza. But I mean, like I say, I'm not going to be. You won't see me crash out like some on the panel might. Should Pavia win this?
Here's my question, though. Here's my question against Mendoza before you say yours, Brandon.
Yeah.
Is if Kurt Cignetti's not the coach of Indiana, do they have the success that they have?
No.
No, I mean, he's probably still at Cal.
Right. And so
100%.
Do they
still a high level quarterback? I mean,
do they still win the Big Ten and go undefeated if Cignetti's not there?
I doubt it.
So Vandy has Derek Mason.
Right. So now, but that's the same.
Apples to apples, because you don't
right.
have the
But
same
then,
team yet.
but so, then if you have any other coach at Vanderbilt, does Diego Pavia still do what Diego Pavia did?
Absolutely not.
I think so.
No,
absolutely not.
He does.
He's the only thing they have. He leads the team in rushing. He leads the team in
the
passing.
defense is good. The defense is good for them. They're not great.
Has any kind of success is what's his name? The damn OC that was his head coach in New Mexico.
You're telling me Derek Mason would take that Vandy team, they rehire him at heartbeat, and it's going to be the same type thing?
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback, a good college quarterback. And I think, would he be more successful than Derek Mason had success when he was there? Absolutely. Do I think they'd be 10-2 fighting for a playoff spot with Derek Mason? No. I mean, maybe, okay, let's just give the benefit of the doubt playing devil's advocate, maybe 9-3. They had a defense this year that actually kept them in games.
And they ranked 11th in the SEC.
Yeah.
Vandy's defense was 11th in the SEC, and they won 10 games.
Special.
They won 10 games. And why did they win 10 games? Diego Pavia. Plain and simple.
So, like
I say, I mean, like I say, this is a weak ass class. That's why they
it is.
Go around.
I don't even want to talk about the Heisman. It sucks.
Yeah,
like I said, Jacob, they left the best player off.
Yeah, I was about to say we're all in agreement
did.
that Jacob Rodriguez should have won that.
Right there. Without Clark Lee, does Diego Pavia go to Vanderbilt? He could still be in the land of enchantment down there in New Mexico State.
But Riddle, you're like, so Vanderbilt, his defense is just as good as Texas A&M's. The same points per game allowed.
Their total defense, Texas A&M is 5th. Vanderbilt is 11.
I'm just looking at points allowed.
Defense.
I mean,
the reason I think Mendoza wins it is because he's from the Big Ten. We know that SEC hate exists. We know that SEC hate is real. A lot of these voters are Northern voters.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to give it to this guy from the shittiest team that Power 4 football has ever seen, I think that they will.
To be fair, it's a battle of shitty teams.
I was going to say, kudos to Mendoza at Indiana.
3 years ago that we'd have Indiana and Vanderbilt's quarterback battling for a fucking
absolutely. Kudos to both schools. Kudos to both teams. Kudos to both of them for even being here. But Jacob Rodriguez deserved to be there.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez was the best player in football. There's no
Jeremiah
doubt.
Love ran for half the yards Genty did last year, and he's there.
Yeah. He should not.
And he didn't even catch the ball. I was looking at his stats. He didn't even have a bunch of receptions this year. He had 280 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns to add to his rushing stats. He had 1,652 total yards.
He went to Derrick Henry like that one time. Couldn't catch Cole.
Blows my mind that Love got the call to go to New York for this shit. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't
that's embarrassing.
I couldn't either.
Well, that call over Jacob Rodriguez.
Now here's the thing, and here's the thing too. I don't know what the rules are for the Heisman. I'm not a Heisman rules specialist.
If you're a voter, you can vote for anybody.
But all I'm going to say is this: you would have been better off leaving Love at home and only bringing 3 QBs to save face, because at some point you're reaching for something that's not even there. It's not there.
It's like the coach of the year. It's hey, sorry you got left out of the playoff, but come to New York.
Here, we'll give you to make you feel better about it.
Yeah.
But I will say Heismans are won. They are won in key moments. We all know this. RG3, for instance, is the last probably non-playoff QB to actually do something, and it was because of that Oklahoma win that he was able to. They knocked off Oklahoma, and it's like that's what's going to boil down. Vanderbilt's biggest moment this year, what, maybe Tennessee win, stamping their fucking balls on Tony's Tennessee Vols. I mean, you know,
Tim Banks. Thanks, Tim Banks. But
Anti finished second.
Yeah, I thought he won the Heisman.
No, he was second. He was runner up.
He was runner up, and it wasn't even that close to runner up.
Yeah, he was a runner up, but it wasn't that close.
Because his fake girlfriend died of cancer.
The two the two comments
they all felt stupid for that.
And Thriller brought up a good point. He said if Ndamukong Suh didn't win, it ain't gonna happen.
Talked about that.
Yeah. I have said that. That is the best defensive player performance in our lifetime.
And then Daniel Wilson came in right after and said, "We can't leave Notre Dame out of everything, guys."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, like,
I forget all about the catfish thing.
Let's all go back and let's just remember there have been players like Bruce Smith, Derek Thomas, Reggie White that have absolutely that have absolutely scared the opposing team's offense off the field. David Pollock
at Georgia,
and these guys were not even considered.
BYU made a whole game plan to stay away from him.
And I'm saying that he's as good as Jacob is. These guys were Hall of Fame legendary players that absolutely were not even considered for the Heisman. That should tell you all you need to know. It's supposed to be the best player in football, not a popularity contest. So we'll see what happens. We've all
not the best player on the best team.
Yes,
I remember ESPN making a huge push for Manti Te'o when the Heisman. And I think that's why I was thinking he won, because the girlfriend.
Oh, I agree, Josh.
I remember all this shit now.
Remember the best player, like it not being the best player on the best team, that just comes to mind. RG3, when Baylor was 9-3 or 8-4 and he won it. And that was like, to me, that was like one of the only times that you saw a guy that was like, man, he's special.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess you can make the argument for
Jordan, I brought that up
last year, but
but I brought that up just a second ago when I said his key moment was that Oklahoma win. When they knocked off Oklahoma, stamp, there's the Heisman. And that's it. That was his moment. The same moments don't exist for either candidate, because I think it's down to a 2-man race right now, but I don't think that same moment exists. I think winning the Big Ten title, if he would have done it emphatically, I think, yes, Mendoza, clear-cut favorite, but he didn't do that emphatically, and thus Pavia has a leg to stand on.
Yeah, I see it.
Charles Woodson won the Heisman. That's a defensive player. He won because of his return and one game. There's a legendary clip that is on my TikTok talking about Charles Woodson winning the Heisman that Jordan had last year. If you go to my TikTok, you'll see that. And Jordan's right. Peyton got robbed that year.
Yeah. So Thriller says Johnny as a freshman, you saying he wasn't special? I mean, so Johnny as a freshman, he had a moment. What was that moment?
The Bama game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, God damn. And the deal is,
Cam Newton had a big moment. This is the Bama game.
Came back.
But be fair though, Cam Newton dominated college football. Cam Newton's stats were absolutely.
He brought Auburn back, and the fact that he was the only player on his entire offense that played in the NFL any kind of significant stats just tells you how good that kid was.
Cam Newton's stats were that of legend. Cam Newton is a college football legend. I mean, that's all there is to it. Okay.
Johnny did have Mike Evans.
All you got to do is throw it up and throw it up with a prayer. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to our one.
Peyton never did beat Florida. You're right.
RG3 had.
We're gonna do our one key matchup of the week, and this is probably the the game that a lot of people look forward to the most, and it's Army at Navy in Baltimore, Maryland. I always thought they played this and
they played in a few different locations.
Didn't they play in Philly most of the time?
They played in Philly a few times. Usually it's Baltimore, Philly. It's always in the Northeast right there.
Yeah. But I mean, so bottom line is it's in Baltimore, Maryland. Navy 6-point favorite. Navy a 6-point favorite. So we're gonna start. Riddle, give us the standings.
All right. So Jordan leading the way, 47-35 against the spread this year. Brandon, you're 43-39. I am 42-40.
Bets for last, folks. Listen up.
And Tony has made a comeback. He is the first person to 50 losses on the year. He's 32-50.
Well, there we have it.
Hey, got a crack
Riddle,
30.
No matter what else happens, I think we're safe.
If you're fighting Tony, you got a better record than I do.
So we're going to start this game. We're going to start with you, Riddle. Give us the stats because I know you've got them and I know no one else does.
I've got some interesting things about this game.
Give us the stats. Give us the breakdown. And I'm going to say this. Start off with giving us the answer to your riddle because it obviously plays homage to this game. And I'm sure no one else in here even remembers the question.
We did have, I got to find my paper now. Holy crap.
I know we saw some answers, but
there were like correct answers.
This is the moment to share it.
So the two questions were, what tradition is after the game where the winning team being allowed to go to the losing side of the stadium for a post-game celebration? That is called honoring the fallen or sing second. And then the tradition before the game where cadets and midshipmen who spent a semester at the rival academy are returned to their home teams at midfield. That is called the prisoner exchange. And we did have correct answers. Google was nice to some people tonight. Josh got both of them first. Chad got both of them second. And Big Hunt got both of them third. So Josh is now at 30 points. Big Hunt is second at 23. Chad has moved into third at 21. And Dees is fourth with 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Dees has basketball every Wednesday. So he's
kind of, he's fell out. So,
okay. Well, Riddle, now give us the stats for the game.
So obviously this game's been played 125 times. This will be the 126th meeting this year. Navy leading the all-time series 63-55-7. This game has been nationally televised every year since 1945. Obviously this is the last of the three contests for the Commander-in-Chief trophy. 10 sitting presidents since 1901 have attended this football game. These two schools have produced 6 national champions, 61 All-American, 5 Heisman winners. Both have all-time winning records and both have winning bowl records all time. My breakdown for this game is Army started this season with a loss to Tarleton State, and it looked like it was going to be a very long year. So kudos to them for getting to 6-5, getting bowl eligible, winning 5 of 7 after starting the year 1-3. So kudos to them. Navy is 9-2 and just missed out on playing for the American Conference Championship. Blake Horvath is back. Daly is not for Army. Horvath has very similar stats to last year. Not quite as good this year, but very similar. I think he's going to be the difference in this game. I've got Navy -6 in this one.
And before we go on, a comment was made that I need to absolutely kind of like touch on. So Chad says it's a helmet game. Give me Navy with the points. If y'all haven't seen the helmets, they are fire. Well, those of you that haven't seen the helmets, by God, here they are. So it's an honor to they're honoring the USS Constitution. And honestly, this game really does produce some very, very beautiful uniforms. They've done a really good job of kind of putting out some things over the last couple of years. Both teams. Jordan, who do you have?
I got to go in some hard on this one. As y'all can see, the Army green. I picked this shirt, Tennessee shirt tonight specifically for this reason. I have rooted for an Army in this game ever since I can remember watching this game. That being said, I have an obligation to put y'all on the right side of things. Navy -6 is the right side of this game. I'm going to be on Navy -6, but I will still be rooting for the Army Black Knights. Go Army, beat Navy.
Tony, what do you have for us?
Yeah, God, who knows? It's a rivalry game. This is a true rivalry game. I mean, I know we speak on that bullshit a lot about, it's a rivalry game, anything can happen. Hell, and I thought last year, Army was going to go in and walk all over Navy. That wasn't the case. Now, yeah. I mean, for real though, I thought they would.
This game, the under, I want to think is something like 19-1 to the under in the last 20 years. And this total is always set right around the mid-30s.
Hell, I mean, obviously, if you go by look at the record and all this other shit, Navy's the far better team this year. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna be opposite. I'm going Army. Give me that +6. I'm not gonna keep this. I'm breaking the chains.
I'm breaking the chains.
And I know Navy, like I said, I think they are the better team this year, but fuck it, I'm going Army.
I'm pretty sure we thought Army was the better team last year. Navy absolutely blew the doors off of them.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I thought Army would, beat them pretty handily, but that wasn't the case. Navy.
I mean, this is
whatever they wanted.
Like Tony said, this is a rivalry game in the truest sense. None of these guys are getting NIL. None of these guys are getting paid. None of them are going to the league. After the game's over, they're all going to be brothers in arms. But for 60 minutes, there's a lot of hatred on that field.
All right. Navy beats Army. This is me putting on my big boy pants and going against Tony.
That might be the gayest thing I've seen in a long time.
You got real brave.
Anyway, so
you got real brave going against my pick. Ooh.
I know. Anyway, I know. Okay, well, that's the only game we have to pick this week. We're gonna have much more to pick next week. Obviously, the playoffs are coming, so we'll have and bowl games. So we will have opportunities galore coming up. So we've already given you the answer.
Right, like watching paint dry.
Hang on. Go ahead.
We have answered Riddle's question. So now we're going to give Pardo a chance to have the floor and say what's on his mind, if anything's on his mind.
So yeah, this is sorry guys, I don't know if it's gonna be too exciting this week because things have been going right here in this part of my land.
Tim Banks is fired.
Titans win. Tim Banks gone. Been telling you guys,
opportunity for Jim Knowles. Talk about that.
Okay, so all right, so Jim Knowles, I like it, and I said, and I did say that anything other than Tim Banks is an improvement. It's no ban. It is an improvement. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like I said, anybody breathing at this fucking point, and I've said this. Anybody, literally, I was happy with whoever. Now, Knowles wasn't really the guy who come to my mind, but hell, maybe that's why a lot of people kept saying that Hypo was going up to. Apparently, going to Penn State, having all these secret interviews and shit. Hell, maybe he was talking to Knowles for all I know.
Probably was
as well. No, probably not. But I'm just saying because a lot of people have those theories of the damn plane going from Knoxville to Penn State. Every so often, like once or twice a week.
That plane also went from Tallahassee to Knoxville pretty regular too. And he wasn't going to Florida State by any stretch.
But no, I do like Knowles. Knowles is obviously he's a more accomplished. First off, coach. He's accomplished coordinator. He knows what he's fucking doing. I see people say that he has a difficult defense to learn. Well, maybe so. Because what he plays I think he plays a 5-2. What? Like a 5-2-4 some shit. Whatever. I think that's
multiple.
Yeah, he does multiple different types of formations. He runs a really
complicated defense.
Yeah, unlike Tim Banks, who refused to change anything about him. But I mean, let's face it, he did not want to change how he wanted to run shit, and that's why he's on the fucking streets right now. He's jobless. He didn't want to change. He was going down with the ship. I respect it. You're fucking stupid. I respect it though, because I mean, I gave Tim Banks the benefit of the doubt. His first year, it was a rough year. Actually, it wasn't rough in the sense of like it was hard to watch year because that first year was really fun to watch. Still, even though I think what was our record that year? Maybe like 9-5 or some shit. But it was a fun year because we were putting up a lot of points. Defense sucked in, but I know that all that coaching staff was coming in a rough time. Second year, it's kind of when things come off the rail a little bit, in my opinion, on Banks. Didn't like what I was seeing. Defense didn't get any better. And, of course, so on, so on. He had one magical year, whoop-de-fucking-do. That's what happens when you can sit in that base 4-3 bullshit and rely on the edge rush or pass rush and just sit back, play that prevent, don't break. And this year he played prevent, don't break, but he prevented, and he broke every fucking time. And everybody want to blame the offense for fucking, oh, they scored too fast. No, actually the offense has slowed down some this year. It really did. But when you're out here playing this stupid ass prevent, playing not to win shit, and you're keeping your defense on the fucking field for like 30 plus fucking minutes every game because, and that's the reason why we couldn't get off third down. We couldn't get off the fucking field third down. They wore themselves out. Tim Banks' play calling wore that fucking defense out. But back to Nose, though, because I'm done with Tim Banks. He's no longer here. Thank God. God is good.
7-6 in his first year.
So, yeah. I mean, it was a fun time, though. That was where we got to throw golf balls and mustard at Lane Kiffin, all that good shit. Because we got robbed. We had a stupid
It ain't hard to keep Tony happy.
we had a stupid quarterback who also, at the time, stupid Joe Milton, who decided he just wanted to run off out of bounds and end the game instead of throwing the end zone. That's how that ended. But Jim Nose, I like to hire Jim Nose. I think we're actually going to get a defensive-minded coach. Hopefully they get these kids disciplined too, because that's another thing that lacked on this defense besides being terrible in coverage and leaving, just being gashed in the middle of the field and all that shit. Need to get that discipline under control because this is probably one of the worst defenses I've watched this year when it comes to seeing guys lined up neutral zone, lined up offside, just doing stupid shit you shouldn't be doing. You're bad enough. You don't help the offense anymore, Need to see that. I think I will see it. And I know who was it earlier? Was that Chad who didn't know who Jim Nose was? I think so.
Former Ohio State defensive coordinator, Penn State's for 1 year.
Yeah, former champ at Ohio State. He wrecked our ass in the playoff game. I tell you, that made Nico look like, he was a flying Hawaiian.
Well, Troy said, hey, Tony, Nico beat that Knowles defense. And I'm like, he did?
For what?
That was Troy.
I mean, one touchdown?
They did beat Penn State like 2 weeks after they fired James Franklin.
Oh, who gives a shit
That
about
was UCLA's first win of the season.
James Franklin's team was falling off. They were going off the rails at that point.
So, Tony,
I mean, there was nothing stopping that.
Josh said, Tim Banks is gone. Let that hate go, brother. So anyway,
the hate was gone, but I was tired of people telling me, saying, "Oh, it's not the defense's fault." What? So 2 out of every fucking 2 games out of the fucking year, it's well, that wasn't the defense's fault. Why can't it be at least half the fucking games? It wasn't the defense's fault, huh? Why is it we got to score fucking 30 or 40 plus fucking points a game just to fucking win? I would love to see the Vols, even like in the old days, just a good fucking slobber knocker of like 24-17. If we beat fucking Bama, say 24-17 Tuscaloosa, I'm fucking happy. We can't do it. Yeah, so what? There were some fuck ups last year, game, but defense didn't help. I remember telling my boy Ryan Williams was going to torches, and he fucking did. He fucking did. I was just watching him and getting warmed up prior to game.
That was the only team.
I said he's going to torch him. Yeah, because of fucking Tim Banks. Because of fucking Tim Banks. Because he makes everybody looking good, and that goes for fucking Diego Pavia. Because he that motherfucking good. That's the fucking truth. You see what happened last year?
Josh,
when, Tim Banks had talent to work with.
Josh wants to know what
I don't want to fucking hear it.
Trivia standings were again. He didn't hear them.
I messaged him. He's in first with 30. Right. Big Hunt's in second with 23. Chad's in third with 21. Deez is fourth with 20.
All right,
guys.
Go ahead,
I will
Jordan.
say this Jim Knowles hire,
Came out of nowhere.
it came out of left field today. This morning, Ryan Walters was still the guy. Deal had been pretty well struck. Everything except for sign and announced. They were waiting till after the bowl game, let him finish out the season with Washington. I guess this morning, Matt Campbell told Jim Knowles, "Hey, you're not going to have a job here next year." I mean, he was on the hot board to start with. Everybody kind of thought it was a little bit of a reach that you wouldn't get that guy. In true Tennessee fashion, shit changes at the last minute, and this time, hopefully, it worked out in our favor. I mean, on paper, it did. And we'll see where it goes from there. But that was kind of what kick-started this wild day in college football. First off, the Jim Knowles, hiring, and then, of course, I know it's not official yet. They're still hammering. I know Jim Knowles is still right now negotiating with Penn State they owe him like $7 million right now. I don't know if he'll let them off the hook or if he'll pull a Brian Kelly and be like, "Fuck you, pay me my $7 million." But I really feel like that it was kind of one of those deals where he was like, "Oh shit, I don't have a job. These guys into DC, I know there's mutual interest here," and it moved quickly from that point.
Yeah. So the only thing
I'm still trying to find out exactly what happened. I mean, because luckily Ryan Walters hadn't left Washington. It wasn't like he just got hung out to dry on this deal. But it was definitely kind of wild. It just, yesterday, my information said that Ryan Walters was the guy, and they expected an announcement yesterday. It never came. It was like, well, it'll be after the bowl game because they play Saturday, obviously, and then here we are with Jim Knowles as of tonight. So it's been a wild 12 hours in Knoxville.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, kind of like the Sharon Moore stuff.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, today's been a while for what should have been a
No,
pretty
man, he ain't
quiet day in
leaving,
college
bro.
football. It's got kind of out there.
He ain't leaving Black and Ribeye. I don't think he's leaving. Anyway, long story short, this is all I want to say. Jim Knowles had absolute talent on Penn State's defense this year. Absolute talent. And for some reason, they just could not put it all together. I don't know. It could have been transitioning from one style defense to the other. I don't know. Because it always does take a year. It does take a year.
The defense wasn't the issue.
Yeah.
And Jim Knowles will admit, I mean, he runs a pretty complicated defense.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's like, I've got to find ways to teach younger guys faster. But, I mean, it's never perfect in year one. I don't expect it to be perfect next year in year one.
But you know what?
But I expect the foundation to be
worse.
laid for year two.
It can't be any worse. That's all I'm going to say. It cannot. It can't be any fucking worse than what I've had to watch for the last fucking 5 years. It can't be.
There's small room for it to regress.
Yeah. We would have to give it 50 plus a game. Literally, almost let offense convert almost every fucking third down. Just no pass rush, nothing. I mean, that and once again, we were terrible at stopping the run this year. So I mean, what could actually make next year fucking worse than what I've had to watch this year and previous years? I mean,
I heard John Chavis is available.
Merklinger starting quarterback for Tennessee.
This year, Penn State gave up 21.4 points a game on average.
You asked what could make it worse, Tony. That's 100% worse.
I'm talking about defense, though.
Defense, okay. I just thought you meant like in general.
No.
They could have brought Chavis back. He's available.
Dude, they'd have to roll him out in a wheelchair.
Tennessee
he just coached last year.
Yeah, tired of those defenses. Don't want those anymore. I'm tired of it. They don't do anything for the Vols.
But Tony, that is Tennessee's defense.
Not anymore. It's not.
I mean, that's it.
It's gone. That's not,
Tennessee.
No,
Tennessee is a bend, break, and give up all kinds of points defense.
The Chavis and Tim Banks shit done.
This year, Penn State gave up 334 yards a game on average.
That's good.
Tennessee gave up 400 yards a game.
Oh, it's definitely an improvement. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a stark improvement. Maybe, like I say, there'll be some growing pains, I think, year one. But once he gets some of these guys and they learn what he expects from them, And I mean, right now we don't know about the staff either. Like, I mean, we knew that Ryan Walters was going to bring Barry Odom's brother with him to coach inside linebackers. I mean,
like
we
Barry.
kind of knew.
I like that.
Even what they were bringing. He was bringing Brian Odom with him. You know, Tony, I know, was not a Martinez fan. He was going to be gone because
I'm not. Yeah.
But I mean, we're not even real sure at this point what his staff will look like.
Surely
I
Jim would
know.
know better.
I know what Tony's looking forward to most next year, and that's Little Mendoza taking over at Indiana.
Alberto Mendoza.
That's my boy.
No, that's Tony.
That's my boy.
First name is
All right.
Alberto.
Big Al.
Guys,
Big Al.
we're gonna wrap it up. That's gonna do it for us tonight on Lock, Load, and Go. Thank you everybody for being here. We will be back on Saturday to celebrate Diego Pavia's Heisman Trophy candidacy. And we'll be back Saturday night, like I said, 8:30 as always. You can find us live Wednesday, Saturday nights on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We also have the audio version, the podcast version, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. So please go like, follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff over there on those channels. And we will see you all on Saturday.
Oh,
What was that? Oh, that's Tony Pavia. All right.